This is going to be my demo for target 8A, and we're just going to be going through different details about flip-flops. So here we have a D flip-flop, and with D flip-flops, they only have one input, and like all flip-flops, they have to wait for the correct edge of the clock, and that can either be at the very start or at the very end. In this case, we're going to be looking at the start. And then here we have the function table. When the clock goes up and D is at 0, then Q is 0, and it's going to reset. And if it's a 1, then it's going to set, and it's going to hold a value of 1. And so here, I've already done it, but the clock goes up here, and then D is 0, so this is actually going to be in mode reset. And then here, the clock goes up again, 0. This time it's going to be at a 1, so that's why this shoots up, and it is now going to be in set mode. And then here, it's going to be the next clock cycle, 0, 0, so we're back here at reset. And that's going to be D flip-flops. The next one we're going to go over is JK flip-flops. And the difference in this is that it has two inputs, and if both of the inputs are on, then it's going to toggle, meaning it's going to switch values, and it doesn't have an invalid mode. So if J is off and K is off, there's going to be no change in the mode. If 0 is for J and 1 is for K, it's going to reset. 1 is for J, 0 is for K, it's going to set. And if both of them are on, again, it's going to toggle. So right here, we're looking at positive, the part where it goes up. So here we go. Oh, here we have a 1. When it's going up, it's at a 0 here. Oh. We'll just move this line a little bit. Okay. So this is going up. This is at a 0. Looks like this is at a 1, and then we can look at this function table right here. When the clock is up and J is at 0 and K is at 1, we're going to reset. And I'll stop right here at the next clock cycle so we can see what's happening. Here it's going up again. Now this time J is at 1 and K is at 0. So when J is at 1 and K is at 0, it's going to set. I'm going to go up. I'll stop at the next clock cycle. Right here, it's going up. This is at 1, this is at 1, that's toggle. So we want to change. Then here we have our last clock cycle. So this is going to be at 1, this is at 1, this is at 0. So this time J is at 1, K is at 0. And that's going to set. Awesome. And then lastly, we're going to go over our T flip-flop. And the difference between the T flip-flop and the D flip-flop is that it just toggles. So whenever it's high, it's going to switch whatever its value is. So here we're starting. The first clock cycle is right here. So this is going to be at 1. This is at 1. So T's at 1, so we're gonna start off here, and then it's gonna toggle right here. And then we'll go to the next clock cycle. Clock's at 1, T's at 1, it's gonna toggle. One, this is at 0, so there's gonna be no change. Next clock cycle, it's at 0 again, no change. It's gonna be a wave for the T flop. And then lastly, the differences between synchronous and asynchronous. Synchronous means that it will only allow changes to the value that it's holding at specific allotted times. So as mentioned before, in this specific example, when it goes up, there's gonna be a split second, not split second, but there's gonna be a specific time that the value can be passed in and changing its mode. Otherwise it cannot, and then again it can be when it's going negative as well. And then asynchronous just relies on specific inputs to change. And yeah.